Hello everyone. Welcome to Dr. Rajkumar Academy. Welcome to the session on 28 to 2023. So now when we look, Supreme Court wraps government on plea on ED chief's term. The Supreme Court has told that ED enforcement departments chiefs term cannot be extended. What government was doing, it was trying to increase the ED chief's term regularly so that, whatever cases were pending, they were able to complete them. But now, Supreme Court has told that you cannot keep on extending it, you should stick by the rules. Recently, Central Vigilance Commission chiefs, what we call as term, has also been changed. So guys, this year, when it comes to non-constitutional bodies and constitutional bodies, I want you to study about election commission, right? Election commission, how they are appointed, what is their duration, all these things. Similarly, CVC, Central Vigilance Commission, is in news. I want you to go through that as well. Fine. Heavy, peaceful polling in Meghalaya, Nagaland. Yes, I told you in your internal security while talking about Northeast insurgency, one answer that you need to focus and write properly is about Meghalaya and Nagaland. Remember, these were the areas which were severely affected once upon a time. And today, we are observing some sort of, what we call as peace. How does it indicate? One, it is not just peaceful polling, but also turnout. You see 77.55, 85.32, indicating that the people trust Indian government and Indian constitution. This is very, very important. Fine, very, very important. In your notes as well, in the internal security topic, yes, two things, guys. Subaltern secular is about the Congress party making a name with onomastics. Shashi Tharoor is talking about how to choose a name for characters in the book. So don't worry about it. Unpacking the new set of e-waste rules is very, very important from environment point of view. Fine. So now let's slowly look into this. So yes, we are all aware that e-waste, which means electronic waste, is a significant problem for all of us. All right. So when we look at e-waste, it is from laptops, it is from mobiles, it is from TV, refrigerator, motherboards, now electric vehicles. In most of these things, e-waste is normally coming out. In 2011, we introduced e-waste rules, and recently, in 2022, a new set of e-waste rules have been introduced which will come into force from April 1, 2023. This is a very important topic, guys. High possibility you may get a question on e-waste rules again, right? So this article is trying to say that as it is going to be implemented from April 1, there are certain things that we need to discuss about it. Now, what are those? One of the most important thing is about recycling this. So, normally when we talk about paper, waste paper, recycling and all is done effectively. But when it comes to e-waste, there is no proper e-waste recycling centers. So what is government doing with respect to this? Government will give, the target to certain organizations. Fine. So these organizations, what they will be given a target. Let us say they will be told you collect 100 tons of e-waste every day, and that what do you call as groups main task is to collect 100 tons of e-waste, process them, separate the parts, and then sell it back. For this, the author is telling that most of this is not happening. What people are doing is they're reaching the target by collecting 100 tons of e-waste, but they are not recycling it, they're not reusing it. Let us say I have a mobile phone which I have discarded. Now these people have to collect it. Once they collect it, what they will do? They will try to separate all the parts, separate those rare earth minerals and all, and then they will sell to the producers. Earlier, what had happened? It was responsibility of the producer. Let us say Samsung mobile phone is there. It is their responsibility to collect all the old phones and then try to remove those body parts, separate them, and then discard effectively. But later, these companies said that it is very difficult for us to maintain it, so we will give it to a middleman who will collect on behalf of us and who is going to, follow all the rules. Now, these organizations are called as producer responsibility organizations. What is it? Producer responsibility organizations. There are many such organizations working, but the biggest problem is they are not separating and using them effectively. This is the criticism. Fine. So, can you people write once? E-waste. E-waste. Hyphen. In 2011, in 2011, Indian government, Indian government introduced introduced e-waste rules, and later in 2022 a new set of rules is introduced. Next, earlier earlier it was responsibility of producers to recycle, but now it is responsibility of producer responsibility organizations which are not effectively managing it. Next point. E-waste management, e-waste management includes two components. Two components. First one, recovery hyphen adequate and efficient adequate and efficient recovery of rare earth metals recovery of rare earth metals in order to reduce dependency on virgin resources. Second, disposal, safe disposal of leftover during e-waste recycling. Next point. In India, in India, 95% of e-waste normally comes from informal sector and it needs to be controlled. Okay. So yes, we need to democratically reimagine science. The meaning of this is the meaning of this is we normally try to see science or scientific note in a different context, guys. So recently there was an article about shivling where they told that we were the first one to talk about protons and neutrons. Now the author is trying to say that such things will try to make scientific study bad because we are trying to prove something which is not scientific to be scientific. That means going back to our own culture and trying to say we found that this and all will not be exact way, not required, guys. It's just certain aspects that he's just criticizing, don't be at the extremes. Up on the defensive, corruption cases in Punjab, corruption cases in Delhi, Aam Aadmi Party's own members were held by state government. Forget about central government arresting. State government is arresting them for corrupt practices. So you can imagine to what extent it would have gone in these areas. The New START treaty on the pause. See, guys, there are certain treaties to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons, guys. First, it was called as SALT. Later, they made it START. Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. In 2010, they called it as New Start. Now, what does it do? It tries to prevent nuclear weapons. Yes. Fine. So, let us say there is a cap. Both US and Russia cannot go beyond this, and they should reduce. Now, Russia has pulled out from this, saying that US through European Union is trying to provide weapons to Ukraine, so we don't want to follow this. Yeah. Agnipath scheme is in national interest, says Delhi High Court. Because Delhi High Court has told that there are a lot of advantages of Agnipath, so it is a well thought out plan, right? Rajya Sabha panel seeks explanation from 13 MPs. Yes, in the budget session, different people had spoken differently. So Rajya Sabha panel has told, give us explanation for your comments. Deadline for higher pension extended till May 3rd. Web link up. They were protesting, as you have seen. Italian Prime Minister Meloni to be a chief guest at 8th Raisina dialogue. Normally, guys, we try to talk to different country people, and Italian Prime Minister is in India, and it's a very good sign because we are trying to revive our relationship with them. After Shinde Group issues whip, Thackeray faction decries scare tactics. See, what is a whip? Every political party can't control all its MLAs. Now, let me say, I will tell all my MLAs, please vote to this bill. Now, one MLA will take money from another person and try to not vote. Now, this will lead to certain problems. So, every party is given a right to announce a whip. And when they announce a whip, it is mandatory that everyone should follow it. And if they don't follow, then the party can tell that he has violated the whip, so you have to remove him under anti-defection law. Fine. So if anyone doesn't believe party order, then they will be removed completely. So yes, speaker will look into the issue and speaker will remove him. So now in Maharashtra, Shinde camp is said to be the main political party. It has ordered the whip, but Supreme Court has told that no whips must be ordered till I look into the issue completely. So because of that, the issue is in news. Is the Resistance Front, which is a military organization of Lashkar-e-Taiba. So yes, Lashkar-e-Taiba is a terrorist organization present in Pakistan, and its organization, the Resistant Front in Jammu Kashmir, is involved in killing of a Kashmiri Pandit. Fine. So you should know the terror outfit name. 1300-year-old Buddhist stupa found in Odisha's Jajpur. It's very important, guys. Very important one. This is. You can just make a small note. In Odisha's Jajpur district, Buddhist stupa made of made of condylite stones condylite stones is absurd. Fine. Okay. Yes, one guy had petitioned asking that different invaders have changed the names of different temples, roads, cities, and all. We need to rename them. For this, the Chief Justice has told that, uh, the Supreme Court judge has told that digging up history will keep the nation on the boil, so no need to discuss about them again and again. Guys, with respect to renewable energy, guys, Karnataka is said to be best equipped, right, to supply this because of its location, coast, and the equipments that they have. Karnataka is best suited to generate electricity. Remember, India has agreed that it will reduce emissions and it will produce electricity from non fossil fuel sources. Panchamrit is very, very important, guys. Read it properly. US again has given a report saying that COVID started from a Chinese lab, and this China has said is wrong. Fine. So these are some of the issues that we had, guys. Thank you.